Welcome and thank you so much for joining us today as we are continuing our conversations around gender-based violence here in Botswana. Today I'm at the UN House in Gaborone where I am talking to the UN Women Gender Specialist, Magdeline Mathiba-Madibela. Magdeline is going to tell us a little bit about the UN Day, which is going to be celebrated here in Gaborone tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me, Magda. Tell us about this special UN Day.
Thank you, Bui, and thank you to your listeners too. UN Day marks the anniversary of the entry into force of the UN Charter, which was signed in 1945. And the 24th of October has been celebrated as the United Nations Day since 1948.
Wow.
So globally and even in country offices, the United Nations in collaboration with governments actually commemorate this day to basically recognize the work that the UN is doing globally and at country level. But most importantly, this is an opportunity to celebrate the collaboration and the partnership that we have with government of Botswana, with civil society organizations, with the private sector, the media,
Right.
and other key stakeholders in advancing the implementation of the Botswana National Development Agenda.
Wonderful stuff. I think it would be very fair to say everybody is conscious of the United Nations around the world. I think your work speaks for yourself. So when you focus a little bit about what's happening tomorrow, tell us about what is going to be happening. What is this day about in context?
This year's UN Day will be commemorated under the theme, I Walk for Change, Stop Violence Against Women.
Right.
This theme was specifically chosen as a demonstration of solidarity by the United Nations with government of Botswana and other partners to show support and also to demonstrate concern for the increasing incidences of gender-based violence,
Right.
and in particular against women. As you know, over 67% of women in Botswana have experienced violence in one way or the other.
Very sad facts. I think it is quite disheartening that we are talking of numbers that high.
It is.
And I think the very same study had indicated that the reported cases are nowhere near as much as the actual cases on the ground. So tell us, what is it that is probably preventing women from coming forth and reporting that I'm being violated? My life is being abused. What do you think? What have you observed?
Yes, indeed, Boo. It's quite true that the reported cases are just the tip of an iceberg.
Right.
So many other cases go unreported. And one could actually look at the structural, the cultural, the socio-cultural, limitations that might actually affect the ability of our women who are violated to report.
Right.
One of the key concerns really is about the shame that is associated with violence against women. Really, some women just decide, instead of reporting, I would rather just hide behind, my closed door, cry alone, and not shame my family or shame myself. So there's that level of shame that is attached, stigma that is attached to gender-based violence. And the culture also, when a woman gets married, there's cultural and traditional
Right.
Conversations around
Right.
society where you talk
Right.
just be strong in your marriage, don't talk about
Right.
it. But also from a structural point of view, there are also concerns at the reporting points or at the
Yes.
reporting centers, particularly at the police, with specific reference to rape.
Right.
So in certain instances, women are rebuked, they're challenged to actually demonstrate how it was done, and so that is why, as the United Nations family, in collaboration with government, we continue to support the training and the capacity building of the police,
Right.
and other service providers, the health workers, and the social workers, the
Right.
policy, just to enable them to manage gender-based violence cases in a much more gender-responsive manner, in a manner that also takes into consideration human rights
Right.
of the violated women.
You've mentioned very important components of society, including Hosi, which are seen as a very stronghold of our culture. So tomorrow's event, who is invited? Who is going to be coming, and what kind of messaging are you trying to get the community to understand about gender-based violence?
Absolutely, gender-based violence is a multi-dimensional issue, and it occurs at all levels of our society,
That's
in all
right.
institutions, from the home to the school,
Absolutely.
to the community at large, even in the workplace.
Absolutely.
So all the key stakeholders and
Absolutely.
all the sectors are invited for this very, very auspicious event tomorrow.
Continue our conversation with Magdeline Mathiba-Madibela, and we're talking about the UN Day, which here in Gaborone is going to be celebrated tomorrow, which is on Thursday, the 25th of October. And as you were saying, the walk is going to start at the University of Botswana. And who are we expecting, and what kind of messaging are we expecting from this day tomorrow?
Yes, indeed, tomorrow the 25th of October, you and family in collaboration with government of Botswana will combat in a march, a walk against violence against women, and this will start at the University of Botswana by the sports arena at 6:30 a.m. and we will march all the way to the bus station, bus rank in Gaborone, next to a Gaborone hotel. We will be with the University of Botswana staff. We will be with the University of Botswana students. We'll also be with other students from other universities in Gaborone, such as Botu University by Isaho. We'll be with students from the different schools. We'll also be with senior government officials from the different ministries. We'll be with civil society organizations and the private sector. But most interestingly, we'll also be joined by celebrities in Botswana. We will be with Nigel Amos. We'll be with Viwa Mampiza and other celebrities. The celebrities will join this event to demonstrate solidarity and support to prevent violence against women. And when we get to the bus rank, there'll be an official ceremony where there will be speeches with very important messages concerning the GBV prevention and response in Botswana. And we'll also have performances and presentations by our celebrities. We will be entertaining the crowd, and we will make sure that the messages that come across really buttress to the reality that we, as Botswana, all of us, men and women, officials and non-officials, private and non-private, civil society and others, the community at large, we all have the responsibility to take charge in the prevention of gender-based violence. I can do something, you can do something. Shout out and stop gender-based violence.
Do you know what? I think you have summed it up perfectly. I think that is exactly what we all need to know, is that everybody is involved and nobody is excluded. Hope to see you tomorrow, standing your ground against gender-based violence. Thank you so much to Magdeline. Hoping you have a beautiful day tomorrow.
Absolutely. Join us. It's important that we all play a role.